would like to request our technical team to kindly unmute Dr. T.P. Sashi Kumar sir, who is associated with the Shiksha Foundation, and sir is always promoting the learning from all the quarters of learning to complete the triple responsibilities. And it is our absolute pleasure to welcome our Dr. T.P. Sashi Kumar sir as a guest of honor in our today's webinar. Thank you, sir, for joining Eudoxia Research University.
Namaskaram.
Namaskar.
I got into contact with Sukhveer Singh maybe 2-3 days back, and he requested to me to be here on this day. I was searching and knowing about the activities of what Eudoxia is doing. I was really thrilled to know that such a name is also given, because it talks about, we learned it when I was doing my LLB, a law terminology where the judgment becomes good. It is called Eudoxia, so the Greek word. So most of the time what happens is our judgment is not correct because the objective and scope is not very good. I was given to understand that this 5 days program which started is going to end today with this session. I love to congratulate all the people who got registered and then given interest in showing how ethical have to be research. I remember long back, almost 25-30 years back, we had a Ethics and Research Committee in which National Institute of Nutrition Director Bhargava was the chairman and I was the secretary there that time. I was part of research in Department of Space, and being in Hyderabad, it was 3 kilometers away where my office was. So we used to meet, and then we found most of the research work which happens in India internationally is not recognized because of, the reason. It's all fake. I was also part of University Grants Commission as Director for Academic Staff College. And we found most of the time the university research applications for changing the title itself happens almost after 3 years. That means you are not aware of what you are doing. There is a great joke in saying people can do research even to compare the skin of a camel with the skin of a watermelon which have in some other part of the world, and that can be made into a PhD thesis. The research has become a pre-requirement for most of the people to get a degree before and DR. Actually, the title which you get is called a Doctor of Philosophy. The Doctor of Philosophy is you have to become a doctor and you have to be philosophical. Philosophy is actually Saundarya Shastra. How much you can understand the beauty of this world and how much love towards philosophy, how much love for knowledge. I remember almost 15 years back I wrote a poetry which is called Philos. Philos to agape. That means you have a blind love is called a philos. That's called philos to agape. When you are a teenage, you love somebody, it becomes a blind love. But after some time, you get sophisticated, maybe modified into the societal requirements. Why people get a degree called a PhD? Because you have to have blind love towards the subject. So it is not that problem you are interested. You are interested in understanding how to solve problems. It is not that I am learning cycling to cycle in one route. Once I learn cycling, I can go into any route. So I am sure PhD is not to solve problems. PhD is not to solve problems in a very specific subject. It is to get hold of the ability to conduct research so that any problem in the world can be analyzed by people. Whatever PhD I took maybe 35 years back in mathematics or fluid mechanics, but my whole life I spent in different field of research which happens in Indian space research. Probably nothing to do with what PhD I did, but the methodology in which you approach a problem, that can be used. If you are a mathematician, you can use it in social science also. So it requires that sort of a training so that any problem can be solved. Otherwise, progress doesn't happen. So I wish all of you to have. I was not told what I'm supposed to do. I'm asked to join, so I just joined. And I thought I was asked to speak as an introduction or maybe give some blessings to people who are doing it. And I'm sure any learning is good. And it is you to make it your knowledge. Many people give data in, and many people will give information. But once you absorb, you make it yours, you understand things. Understanding is entirely different from information analysis, data, or knowledge. Once you get it, it becomes yours. And once you make it yours, I'm sure you can apply in variety of applications in this world. And that application, when you do it, that becomes a real experience. And that experience with knowledge is what you become more wiser. So that wisdom is what is essential for everybody to become happy in life. I think I can go on and on, but unless you have very specific questions to this old man, probably I have to stop here. Yeah. I don't know, is it good enough? The person who is asked me to talk should have some objective and scope.
That was.
I wish one or two questions, because every research starts with the quest.
Yeah.
Anybody have any questions?
I'm requesting our other participants, if you have anything, any question to ask our sir, then you can raise your hand so that we can unmute you and you can ask the question. Even I would like to request our technical team to unmute our Tanmur sir and our President, Professor Dr. Eudoxia sir also in this platform.
I left a university job very recently as mathematics professor. Before that, I was a management professor. Before that, my job was in different scientific fields. I left the job because I see only names and some pictures. I don't see physically people there. It's so boring for a teacher to respond without response, without, they may log in and then go also. Because attendance is essential most of the time to get a certificate, but they are not eager to get knowledge. I think every performer, even an art performer, gets bored if only vacant people chairs are there, only signals are given that your attendance is there.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, and welcome to Eudoxia Research University and Eudoxia Research Center.
Glad.
Anyway, it was a very thrilling and very motivational speech from you. Of course, getting a PhD is, we have to know anything and everything in this world. Means we have to have very wider aspect of knowledge in any field and every field.
Dr. Rajesh, your last name Konnur, Konnur, it resembles my district from where I am coming. It is Kannur, Kannur.
Yes, sir. Actually, Kannur is in Kerala, sir.
I am from Kerala, and I am a Keralite. My district is Kannur.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know, sir. I worked in Perintalmanna.
Okay, I was there part of the Kannur University. I was there as Cochin University part. I was there in Bangalore University.
Yeah,
nice.
Very nice to meet you, sir.
See, there is a joke when we talk about PhD. We keep saying knowing more and more about less and less is research, because you get too much specialized.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is there.
And in mathematics, we say more and more means infinity.
Infinite.
Less and less means nothing. That means you have infinite knowledge about nothing, and those people become totally useless, because they lose the visibility of outside world. They only know very little. That becomes the pathetic situation for PhD people sometimes.
Yes, sir. Afterwards, we'll come to know that nothing we know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Nice,
sir. That is
nice for that
And I
intro.
felt so happy that you worked in a NIN also. NIN is a very, especially for an nutrition, it is an
Yeah.
national importance. Now I think it is an university also, no, sir?
No, it is not. There is a fraction which came out as fingerprint analysis. There was somebody else.
Okay, sir.
One thing came out of it.
And also medicine, research in Ayurvedic medicine and all the
Yeah,
things.
they do a lot of things because
they
it's
are-
part of CSIR lab. Most of the patenting work started from Mashelkar's time from that place. Yeah.
Okay,
It's
sir.
one of the most prestigious CSIR labs in India.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know, sir. NIN is a very prestigious, especially for nutrition and related things.
Yeah, there is somebody DA at the rate 311.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
This is Pankaj.
Yeah, I am
Sir,
Doctor.
I've just recent-
I am Doctor TPS. Please avoid calling sir. Sir is a big title. Only Sir C.V. Raman, Sir Isaac Newton, and all. Right? Just address by Doctor TPS.
Okay.
Let us forget about our British tradition. Right? They lost their colony and left. Yeah.
Thank you. And I've just started my PhD 1 year ago, and little scared to pursue my PhD because I've seen people pursuing after pursuing the PhD, they are selling vegetables and selling LIC policies. So, and the reason why they say that there are a lot of PhDs available in the market, so there is no demand. So we have to sell LIC policies or sell vegetables, even if we have PhD. So can you just tell me the reason why the quality of PhD has deteriorated so, to that extent, sir?
What is your name? Pankaj only?
Punk.
Where are you from?
Pankaj Kumar Vimal.
Where are you from, Pankaj?
Delhi. I'm
Yeah.
from Delhi.
Pankaj, the most two useful thing in this world is selling vegetable and then insurance. I work in both field.
Okay.
Don't think that selling vegetable is bad, because without that you can't live in this world. Second one, I must have given maximum number of lectures for insurance marketing people, because I am also a management consultant. I go to people to give talks. So I'll tell you, insurance is the only people who go when people die
Okay.
to give money. Understood? So don't degrade the job of these people. Number one. Number two, a PhD is not guaranteeing knowledge. If you think that you have a PhD, you got knowledge, that's wrong. Because most of the people sell PhD also. Now you can see online PhDs are being sold by many universities. There are 25,000 rupees, you get a PhD. I think 10 years back also people started selling. So DR is not what, or PhD is not a degree. We keep saying perspiration, humiliation, degradation can be PhD. Right? So that doesn't give you. Actually, you know how to solve a problem. It needs a very specific methodology. I worked with great professors who became vice chancellors in the university under them. They taught us how to solve problems. And that methodology helped us to see, first you can identify problems. There are a lot of problems in the world. The first part of PhD is to identify problems. It is not that easy. You think everything is smooth and fine. That is not true. I am sure today's lectures are on ethics, and then do you know that no dog in this world, when you see a dog, a researcher thinks dog is not normal dog. You are getting different dogs in different forms. That is all became with the cloning. There are 200 varieties of dogs in the world. Do you think all of them by birth naturally became such? It did not. Somebody's research made to change the DNA pattern to create such a dog. Is it not research?
Yes, it is.
And now, is it ethical research? Now today I'll tell you what is going to happen if you are not ethical in research. What will happen? You can make all the people in this world most beautiful, same style. You can make people singers. You can make people gymnastics by changing the DNA pattern. Why is it not happening? Have you ever thought about it? Is it possible? I'll tell you, somebody asked me, without food, now you don't want vegetables, say. But how do you live without food is one question. I keep asking questions when I get somebody. Do you want a research problem? I can give thousands of problems, and each word what I use, I can give problems. I remember having...
The problem is,
Yeah.
the thing is, I'm not degrading vegetable sellers or life insurance, but then the thing is that you do not need a PhD degree to sell an insurance policy. Even without a PhD degree, you can sell a LIC policy. So why did you pursue PhD?
Understand education is not for a job. Education is to feel the dignity. Just because I did LLB, I have an LLB, that doesn't mean I am going to practice. I want to know that subject. I want to be seriously a student there and prove that I learned it. So knowledge, I know how to solve it. I know PhD people who came and then took guidance under me, and then I helped them in writing their thesis. Their job is agriculture. He is a PhD in commerce. A PhD in commerce should not do agriculture is not correct. He produces, and that produce he knows how to sell it into the market. He is applying his knowledge.
Okay.
Got it? So if you are a person who knows mathematics, you have no PhD, you can also be a good designer, because mathematics is designing. I keep saying, if you know good mathematics, you can be a good dancer. I know the movements in the world. I can tomorrow use it for using my computer to make a graphic design with all that movement adapted to my software for designing something. So you are trying to learn solve problems, to define a problem, to get into the nitty-gritty of that, to define and understand. So don't think every researcher do discovery. There is no cover to discover sometimes. Don't think everybody does innovation. You have to do the innovative style of looking at the problems. That ability is what is being trained in getting a PhD. See, today's problem is, after PhD, you don't know how to write a proposal for a problem, to get funding from the department. See, Government of India gives lot of money. When I was part of DST and then UGC, I was in Delhi in Prime Minister's office. So we know what happens is, most of the funding requirements comes also, they don't know how to write a requirement for funding. If you don't...
I astonished to hear that there are people who are PhD in statistics and they do not know statistics.
No, that is what. See, I am not trying to say that there are BTech people in computer science without seeing computer also. See, just because there are few people, we cannot say the whole world is bad. Correct? Got it?
Okay.
I'll tell you, I was part of probably I am one in the world who must have taught maybe 1 million teachers. I taught all the Navodaya Vidyalaya teachers in this country. I remember when I was talking to a group of mathematics teachers, after half an hour I asked them some question. They said, "Oh, आप अंग्रेजी में बात कर रहा है, हमको अंग्रेजी नहीं आते, हिंदी में बात करो ना." After half an hour, and they are supposed to be teachers in +1, +2 in Navodaya Vidyalaya, where 3 language system is applicable, and their syllabus is English.
Medium of English.
The medium of instruction is English. You can understand, And I don't know how people teach mathematics in +1, +2 without understanding basic English. So let us not, there are a lot of faults, but we are not talking about the false part of it. I am sure this Eudoxia is looking at good judgmental, good ability, creating innovative people, creating professional people, creating researchers, and that is what is essentially to be done. So for which any reservation, I am so glad that such a question came, even after 5 days of attending sessions, right?
Okay.
You can always have a one-to-one. My number is there, or search DrTPS. My full time after my retirement from 2009 from Government of India is only helping people to make them some passion in learning, because I believe LIFE. All my books are on LIFE, life. Live in full enjoyment. And that happens only when you learn in full enjoyment. And if you can learn in full enjoyment, you are already a PhD. Don't worry some university gives you or not.
Not with the password with the high difficulty.
No, not to that PhD. I have got a lot of expansions or PhD. What I am trying to say is, any subject, that is my guarantee. Any subject, if you don't understand by reading, I challenge people, you take your subject where you have mastery, you have PhD, and give me a 1 week, write exams, I will also get almost equal marks as you are getting. Because I am sure I can read and understand, learn every subject in this world. That ability you get only when you have passion for learning. Don't think that is an ego. That is not an ego. I think a good cook always knows by tasting how to prepare that. Correct? So every knowledge is knowledge in this world. And if you know how to taste that knowledge, you know how to make that knowledge. That's what I believe. I have been blessed with great teachers in this world. So I know the trick of learning. So I don't teach subjects. I teach learn to learn. How to get into the hold of the grip of a subject. That's why I could teach math. When I was a professor in one of the engineering college, I taught electrical engineering, electronics, mechanical, civil, and computer science. I taught chemistry, physics, environment science, and communication skill English also. So it doesn't matter which subject you teach.
Okay. Thank you, Doctor.
Yeah, I think Sukhvinder Singh is there. Is it that what he wanted? I don't know. I'm seeing his face now. Anybody else who is alive?
I would
Yeah.
like to request the technical team to unmute our President, Professor Dr. Eudoxia.
Yeah, thank you very much. And that was a really wonderful discussion. I would like to first appreciate Dr. TPS sir for such an motivational, inspirational, taking part as the guest of honor. We have seen that sir inspiring the researcher for the true research. And what is the need of the society? Yeah, coming towards the Pankaj, I can understand that what is the scenario. Whenever you will see some news channel showing that the chemical engineers are selling vegetables in Bangalore, you will see some advertisement. First, I am coming that as Dr. TPS sir said. First question was wrong. That I am really agree, because why wrong? That why they are selling vegetables. It is maybe if they are passionate about selling the vegetables, I have no issue with that one. If I'm coming towards your second part, that was wonderful you have made. That is, PhD is not necessary to sell the vegetable. Then why they are selling? So I am telling you one point that Dr. Albert Einstein, he was also PhD holder, and you know that the person only releasing 5 research paper. You meet the PhD holder now, they will say, I have 120, I have 200, and meet some people, those who will say, I have 100 plus numbers of books. I am saying that, oh my God, you are really genius. So you have to be careful from that type of genius. That is the reality. We have to understand reality. Why we are doing PhD? First question is that one. So if you ask me the question that whenever I was guiding as a dean of the university, I was guiding whenever I was also working in university, now becoming president is different. So point is that we have our burning desire to bring the happiness. PhD is for bringing happiness to the world, to the community. If you want to get the job only, I am telling you, Bill Gates done more than the thousands PhD can done in their entire lifetime. You can say their net worth. That is totally different. That don't bring the PhD with the balancing of the money earning or their jobs. Yes, of course, the PhD, if you are doing it by heart and soul, I am using that one also, heart and soul. If you are having burning desire, if you are passionate to do your research, no one can stop you to bring the innovation in your research work. Not necessary that you are doing your PhD in the subject and you are having a background in that subject. PhD is coming outside your domain. PhD is like that coming outside the domain. As our Professor Dr. TPS said that in his book also he's shown, and surprisingly he explained the meaning of Eudoxia, which is not known to most of the people. I'm telling you, because being the Greek word. So what I'm sharing here, that is, you can understand that whenever you meet the people, you will understand that their research coming towards any platform, their work, and how they are proceeding in their steps. So it's neither your number of research paper during your PhD, nor the reputations, nor even I'm telling government funding. You find out the top research institution, they are never taking the government funding. I'm sharing. Do you think that the SpaceX need the government funding from America? It's not required. You see that IITs, I'm not criticizing, IIT doing okay. They are doing, building a good academics in our India, say, if I'm sharing about the Indian country. But fact is that how many Nobel Prizes credited to IIT? That is the big question. And ask that question to C.V. Raman. That people, those who gone through the C.V. Raman, then they knew about him. That's the How Cancer Institute he built and changed the world. Raman effect, you know that this is now most costly instrument in the world, and he built it with the Cancer, that is the Cultivation Research Center. If you visit that one, so it is the scenario. So my sincere request to all the researchers here that go with ethical research, be passionate, and bring your burning desire to your research. Of course, Eudoxia Research Center in India and Eudoxia Research University in Newcastle, United States of America, we are inspiring the young minds. And of course, you are the leader. You can motivate people. You can inspire people to do something new, to make the innovation in the world. Don't care about your degrees. Yes, of course, it is a piece of paper. Later on that you are having now desired a PhD. After getting the PhD, it may be the piece of paper. But the way you are getting the PhD is always important. You can make it memorable for your lifetime. If you ask me, my time that whenever I was doing my PhD, and every day during my 5 years, I remembering today also. Because in our time, it was not easy. That's you were getting the software, you were getting the online everything. Even you can see some cases as those who were not being checked for plagiarism because the typewriter being used. So it's in time to time, it's everything changing, and I'm pretty much sure here that our researcher will bring the true innovation. And today also, I'm telling you, you are all being fortunate to have like guest of honor or DrTPS sir here, and he shared his experience and he is motivating you all, and I am here appreciating his contribution, his time and his support to our organization, and special thanks to him, sir. That's because he is inspiring the researcher in a right way. Thank you very much, sir. We are congratulating you for your space here. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Saikia, for that beautiful narration of talking about what really require for this generation. I'm always with you for any of this count. Countable.
My pleasure, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.